Frank Coppola, 1982. Former Portsmouth, Virginia police officer Frank James Coppola was found guilty and given the death penalty for the 1978 murder of Muriel Hatchell. Muriel Hatchell was killed at her house on April 22, 1978 during a robbery. Her head was repeatedly bashed against the floor while she was restrained with the cords from her Venetian blinds. The cause of death was determined by an autopsy to be a mix of asphyxiation by vomit and brain hemorrhage. $3,000 in cash and some of the deceased woman's jewels were taken by the assailants. Coppola claimed his innocence all the way through. In order to spare his family the tremendous hardship of additional appeals and to protect his children from schoolyard taunts, he fired his attorneys and abandoned his rights to appeal. On the night of August 10, 1982, Coppola calmly entered the death room and sat on the electric chair in Virginia, saying, "Take care of my family, my children." Warden James Mitchell read the execution order to Coppola, whose head was shaved and who wore a mustache. Mitchell inserted the key in a slot in the death chamber, which opened the current and at the same time activated a signal to the executioner to push a button, sending two 55-second bursts of 2400 volts through Coppola's body. Although no media representatives witnessed the execution and no details were ever released by the Virginia Department of Corrections, an attorney who was present later stated that it took two 55-second jolts of electricity to kill 38-year-old Coppola. The second jolt produced the odor and sizzling sound of burning flesh, and Coppola's head and leg caught on fire. Smoke filled the death chamber from floor to ceiling with a smoky haze. Coppola's final meal was an egg and cheese sandwich. Charlie Brooks, 1982. The first person to be put to death by lethal injection in the U.S. was convicted murderer Charles Brooks. Texas had not carried out an execution since 1964. Brooks grew up in a prosperous Fort Worth family and played football in high school. For unauthorized possession of firearms, he had already served time at the United States Penitentiary in Leavenworth. In order to test drive a car, Brooks went to a car yard on December 14, 1976. David Gregory, the mechanic, rode along with him. The mechanic was placed in the trunk of the vehicle after picking up Woody Ludrus, and they proceeded to a motel. The mechanic was there gagged with tape, fastened to a chair with coat hangers, and then shot once in the head. Both Brooks and Ludrus declined to identify the shooter. Ludrus was given a 40-year sentence due to legal difficulties, but Brooks was given the death penalty. The Supreme Court of the United States had rejected 6-3 a petition to grant a stay of execution. The State Board of Pardons and Paroles recommended by 2-1 that the execution should proceed. After a last meal consisting of a T-bone steak, French fries, Worcestershire sauce, biscuits, peach cobbler, and iced tea, he was rolled into the death chamber at the Huntsville unit in Huntsville, Texas. There he made his final statement. Brooks had converted to Islam while in prison, and as such, he said a prayer to Allah. 6 straps, according to witnesses, were used to secure Brooks to the bed. Doctors placed a needle into his bare right arm as it was fastened to a board sticking out of the bed. The white sheets were stained with blood. The tube that came from the needle entered another room where an unidentified executioner, not a doctor, injected sodium thiopental at 12:09 a.m. This led to numbing the pain center of the brain and stopping involuntary respiration. The coroner pronounced Brooks dead 7 minutes later. A witness reported that the passing was very peaceful. One person claimed that Brooks took a quick breath and then stopped responding. In the execution room with him was Brooks's girlfriend, Vanessa Sapp, with whom he had exchanged wedding vows the previous week, but they were not formally married. He left Vanessa Sapp with the words, "I love you," according to witness Darrell White, the sheriff of Walker County. He was rolled in and was looking back at his girlfriend, said another witness, Terry Scott Bertling, editor at the Huntsville Item. He looked at Vanessa and said, "Be strong." Dick Reeves, a Texas Monthly Magazine reporter and a witness, said after the drug was injected, he was nervous as if he was waiting to feel a change. He looked up and he yawned. It was a long, deep yawn. After that, he wheezed maybe 15 seconds. They all believed that by the time he finished the yawn, he was gone. White also said that it was very peaceful and that he showed no signs of discomfort. Joyce Brooks, Brooks' ex-wife, and their 2 sons awaited outside the death chamber. They protested that prison officials did not let them know they could visit Brooks or act as witnesses until it was already too late. His 21-year-old son was heartbroken that reporters were allowed to witness the execution, but he was not. Please hit that subscribe button if you like my channel. See you next time. Bye bye.